Welcome back to the baddest, the dopest, the illest show on this side of the Sahara, if I do say so myself. In case you're just tuning in, this is the award-winning program that is Group Wine. Right about now, I want to take you to what has been trending, and I choose to begin with King Kaka. Now, King Kaka, together with his wife, Nana Owiti, put up posts, of videos and images of how bad he was when he was critically ill. We already know that he lost about 30 kgs from a misdiagnosis that was given by one of the doctors, that he actually mentions that, you know what, I have forgiven him because, I mean, humans are to error, and he doesn't think that the doctor did it, knowingly. It was just a mistake. So he's not going to press any charges against this doctor, even though he almost, died from this. It was really bad for him. And he says he goes ahead to say that, he was at a point where he was just battling for his life. He was just battling to be able to see his people once again, his family members. And he also thanked them, the mom, the wife, the brothers, and some of the friends who were there for him, who stood by him and would go visit him. And he also thanked his fans as well for praying for him. But we are glad that he seems to be back to himself. He's on that road to recovery. And guess what? Passion is passion. He has gone back to the studio and he has given us such a beautiful song that is really, really emotional. The song is Manifest, featuring Mviri the storyteller.
This is the end. Is this the end? Is this the end? I feel kamaja ananites. Nimechoka kumanifest. Nimechoka kupiga chest.
The other person who seems to never miss on our trending topics is the one and the only Willy Paul, Willy Pose. Now, Willy Paul has released the first video of his album, The African Experience, which is set to be released in a week's time. And the song is Ogopa Wasani.
Ogopa Wasani. Ogopa Wasani. Mone Simba, katenda majanga patanasha. Mone Simba, katenda majanga patanasha. Katafuna katemba.
Now, in this particular song, he's kind of roasting his fellow artists, most specifically Simba, Chibude. And he says that, you know what, this Wasanis, they will give you, they will make you pregnant, and then they will move on to the next one. They will just give you this pregnancy, alafu waendelee na maisha yao kama kawaida. So he is speaking to us ladies, to Ogopa artists. Ogopa Wasani is the name of the song. And as usual, we just trust Willy Pose to just try and spark a conversation and just roast someone. That's his thing, but we love the song. Speaking of Diamond Platnumz, or as most of you call him, Father Abraham, now he is currently on tour in the United States of America. And while there, he decided to put up a post on his Instagram stories showing us his latest purchase. And he was at a store where he was buying the latest Rolex wristwatch, and it was all shiny, silvery. I don't know if it's diamonds in there, sijui kwa sababu bado sijafika hiyo bei. And the watch is worth 69 million Tanzanian shillings, which is an equivalent of 3.2 million Kenyan shillings. Where was Sanu Kwinja on a ball? Talking of balling, now one artist that we know for sure is balling and has got his bag secured is Senegalese and American singer-songwriter Akon. But listen to this, Akon went ahead to mention that, you know what, he is less happier now that he is rich than he was when he was broke.
I knew what that felt like. And believe me, I know what poverty looks like. But I also know what success looks like. And from my personal experience, I'm having more problems successfully dealing with all that comes with success than I had when I was poor. I was actually happier when I was poor.
And he also went ahead to just mention that, you know what, you people should not say that I don't know what poverty is. I know what poverty is. As I grew up without having shoes on. I grew up in a village where there was no electricity, there was no water. But I can tell you for sure that I was happier then than I am now with all these billions. And he just says that more money, more problems. You know, it is tougher for the rich people. I don't know what you guys have to say about that. You don't feel as in tutalilia kwa baiskeli ama tucheke tu kwa hiyo Range Rover na life iendelee?
I think it depends on the person. Like, if you're spiritual, there's no way you'll chase after money. And if you're after money, it's kind of hard to find a balance on the other side of life. So I think it depends on an individual.
Money equates to happiness because when you're really not poor, but when you don't have much money, you tend to not enjoy life, but you get to experience life as it is, yeah? You get to experience every sector of life. But the sad part, everything, yeah? But when money comes, even when you are humble and everything, you get to change. You don't know the people who used to be with you. You don't know the people that helped you, or you just get to forget about life itself. So you get to enjoy the money. But that's when you tend to see that when you have money and then eventually goes away, that's when you experience the feeling of life and people. That's when you get to appreciate a lot of things about life.
One thing I believe that happiness is within you. How do you call it? It's inbuilt. As in, the things that you decide to make you happy are the things that are going to make you happy. For example, there are people who have money is the thing that is going to make them happy. And there are others, maybe other things. So I cannot necessarily say that money is a factor that makes someone happy. It's something that's inbuilt. You decide what makes you happy and what makes you not happy.
Peace. You know, we need to chase things that cannot be bought. And the money, we have it today, we don't have it tomorrow. Prioritize your peace and happiness. That's why, let me use a quick example. Look at me opening tabs, my God. A quick example is, we just lost Chris Kirubi. Did anyone say, oh, this guy had so much money? No one ever says that. No one. So work on making yourself a whole human being every day. In pursuit of happiness, man. All this, ubatili. Trust me. Ubatili, haki ya nani. Hey, but peace, happiness, that will stay with you forever. Exactly.
Contrary to what people say, money can buy happiness, but it's not the only avenue for happiness, especially if you can't find joy in health, if you can't find joy in family and friends, like genuine people. Because I think everything that matters in this world is always tied to human beings. So if you can't get that from other people, then the money really doesn't matter anymore. So I kind of understand what he's saying. I hope nisifike hapo. Penye nasema, oh shit. Yeah. But I definitely get what he meant.
I bet you guys by now have heard about the series Squid Game. It is a series on Netflix, and it is all about the story of deceit, rage, greed. Now, it is also accompanied by a very deadly and brutal game which you have to pass through in order to win a lot and lots of money in the end. Now, the reason why I have chosen to mention this particular series is simply because the owner or writer of this series, it took him more than 10 years for him to get a breakthrough. Now, he wrote this particular story 2009. Back then in 2009, but every particular studio that he was taking this story to wasn't agreeing to it. Alikuwa tu anaona hii bado ijaweza. He even got to a point where he stopped writing this particular story because he sold his laptop. Kwa sababu hakuwa na do, alikuwa amesota hiyo kiasi hadi inabidi auze laptop yake, you know, just because he needed to survive. Well, right about now, he is, or rather his story, The Squid Game, is one of the biggest series on Netflix ever. It got the biggest launch ever on Netflix. And it is the story that everyone is talking about. It is a story that everyone is watching. Mi sijui kama wewe umewatch ama unangoja the hype irudi chini kiasi, but be sure to watch it before you get all the spoilers.